And this is the hinge stiff rig. It's kind of a little bit out of favour now as the chod rig has vastly taken over in popularity, but this was the original pop-up hinge stiff rig, and it's probably the easiest rig to get wrong. And it's been popularised by Terry Hearn and various other anglers, and it's very much in the public domain, but very, very much underused. And I think even though a lot of people have read about it in magazines or seen it in books, very few anglers have actually taken it and made the rig their own in terms of using it to catch numbers of fish. And I think the reason for that is because it is so difficult to tie properly, or it's easy to get it wrong. So I'm going to show you how I make this up. It's a critical assembly, and talk about where it's best used as well. So first of all, the boom section itself, I like to tie that from 25-pound IQ, and there's a loop in either end of that, which are to give you the hinges as the name is given to the rig. It's got 2 hinges at either end, which gives some movement to what is otherwise a very, very stiff rig. Now, the first loop, it's a figure of 8 loop knot, is tied to a ring swivel through the eye, because remember, this rig is always best fished on a helicopter type setup. Now the reason for that is because it allows the rig to ride up and lay flat on a soft bottom. If you fish it with a lead clip or an inline lead, definitely not the one, because the lead will take the stiff part of the rig into the soft bottom and it will cause the link to stick up at an angle. So stiff hinge rigs and helicopter rigs go hand in hand together. So tie the swivel on using the figure of 8 loop knot, onto the leader, ring onto the leader and loop around the eye of the swivel. At the other end of the boom section, a slightly smaller loop, and we have a size 11 ring swivel, which I've cut the ring off, and it's just the swivel is riding on the loop there. So the most important part of this boom section, once you've made it, is to keep it straight, keep it stiff, and most importantly, keep your loops round. Now during repeated casting and just general use, the loops can close up and elongate. You don't want that, you want them nice and round. So keep them nice and round and open to give the movement to the rig. That's the boom section. The pop-up section, much more straightforward, because it's basically just a short, stiff, chod style section. Again, that's using the test bristle type material that we've got at Korda at the moment to a size 6 choddy typically. And I form a D rig in that and melt it with a lighter to give you a small swimmer type loop for the bait to be mounted onto. Now this can be fished at any length from 1 inch long right up to 2 or 3 inches. For single hook bait fishing, I tend to favour a long section, you know, nice and high, and for short sections, maybe fishing over a tighter areas of boilies, maybe just 1 or 1.5 inches long. Piece of putty is moulded around the eye of the swivel, and you'll see that with the swivel on the loop, you've got total 360-degree movement, and also with the loop, the rig can move in and out. Even though it's very, very stiff, the rig has got movement, and I think that's part of its secret. It's very, very stiff, but has also got fluid movement thanks to the creation of these hinges. Now how the rig works, when the lead hits the bottom, you need to use this rig with a critically balanced bait. And the reason is, with this stiff boom section, it means that the bait will be boomed away from the lead. So with a slow sinking bait, even if it comes down on top, the stiffness of the boom will extend the link and it will sit so that as soon as the fish picks up the bait, it's in direct contact with the lead.